everybody. Did you know that the way that your child moves and their reflexive actions are reflective of his or her learning and behavior? Well, they are. Hi, my name is Lisa Ande Garcia, and I'm an integrative developmental and educational specialist, and my focus is helping you to reverse the learning and behavior challenges that your child is experiencing. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the role that primitive reflexes play in brain development and connectivity and how to reverse those symptoms. So first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you'll be the first to know when I post a new piece of content. So there are three things that shape how the brain develops, and that is the quality of the nourishment, the quality of the environment, and the quality of the movement and their motor development. So yes, I said that movement shapes the brain development. The brain grows from the inside out and from the center out. So the motor strip is right here. And when the motor strip is activated, that helps to develop the adjacent areas of the cortex. Children who are unable to move, such as those with cerebral palsy, or maybe they have a lot of restrictions like being in a car seat a long time, they have minimal activity in that region, and that impacts brain development. So let's kind of go back into the womb, or like shortly after birth. At birth, babies aren't really able to move on purpose. They kind of like flail around a little bit. Their mouth is their center of their universe, and in turn, their head will be seeking their food source, kind of following the mouth. So that is how they kind of learn to move their head. So, but the question is then, how do they learn how to move on purpose? So in the beginning, let's say you have a newborn and you stroke down the spine, the babies are going to reflexively move their hips. And that actually starts in the womb because that helps them wiggle out of the birth canal. So there's a purpose for that reflex. And another one is like, let's say if you tilt the baby's head down, their knees are going to come up. And if you tilt their head back, their legs are going to straighten and their body will straighten. And babies will engage in rhythmic movements and also repeating this reflexive pattern over and over. So between the two, that's how they learn to integrate these reflexes. And then they're able to then move on purpose. So at first, reflexes are controlled by the brainstem, and then once they're integrated, and once they can kind of control that movement on purpose, then the basal ganglia, which is more up in the center of the brain, that kind of takes over that movement. Oftentimes, these reflexes do not fully integrate, meaning that these movements are still controlled by the brainstem. And sometimes they were actually integrated, or oftentimes they might have been integrated, but things like illnesses, food sensitivities, car accidents, they can cause them to unintegrate, and then the brainstem has to kind of take them back. It takes it back over, okay? So it seems that now more than ever, so many kids and adults are very unintegrated, and that can be for many reasons, and we're not going to discuss those in this video. But what happens if these reflexes are unintegrated? Well, for example, when we stroke down the spine and the hips are flexing, that's called the spinal galant, it's reflex. And that leads to hypersensitivities in the back area, making it hard for children to sit still. In the example of the head bending forward and the knees bending upwards, that can lead to a fear of heights, because every time that you want to look down off of something, your legs feel like they want to buckle. And in the example of the head going backwards and the legs straightening, these can be contribute to a combination of reflexes that's called the tendon guard, which is like basically tightening of neck, shoulder, the back muscles, the back of the leg. So there's kind of stiffness. Also leads to toe walking. And this person also could have an aversion to climbing stairs or going up escalators, because when they look up, they feel like that they're going to fall back. In schools, reflexes can cause kids to be ungrounded, controlling, having a hard time reading and learning. So different reflexes kind of have a different role. Some reflexes are a way for children to learn how to track, like near, far, or side to side. So if those reflexes aren't fully integrated, they may have a hard time with those visual tracking skills. They also might be very painfully shy, so if you call on them, they might cry, or some even lead to selective mutism. They can be clumsy, messy eaters, and have a hard time with sports and catching balls and stuff like that. So if your child struggles with learning, behavior, or motor coordination, chances are that they have a few at least of unintegrated reflexes. One of the ways that babies integrate their reflexes is through rhythmical movements, and different movements may help integrate different reflexes. Some movements kind of target a variety of reflexes. So what we can do is we can engage in those same movements, engage the child in those same movements in order to integrate or reintegrate those reflexes. And then we can also use isometric exercises to integrate, and then we can use also the LifeWave patches that I discussed in a couple videos ago in order to integrate. One of the issues with reflexes is the imbalance of the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, and that's what the patches do a really good job of. And they also give energy to the body and to the meridians, and also or calm down overactivity. So if I want to integrate a reflex, and one of the things I might do is give them, there's one, the Eon patch is specific for balancing that nervous system, so I might be giving that child the Eon patch while they are working on exercises for integrating their reflexes. So I have an online course with weekly group coaching calls called 30-Day Jumpstart to an Integrated Child. And in this course, you would learn specific rhythmic movements to help integrate reflexes along with other necessary techniques and lifestyle habits and changes in order to start to really bring your child into balance. So for more information on that program, you can use the link in the description. But it's an online self-paced course with 5 group coaching calls, and then that's where you can be doing whatever it says to do in the course and just to get started, and then we will be focused on a topic, and then you can answer your questions on there. So I hope to see you in a program. But otherwise, the next topic we are going to talk about is, we're going to talk about chronic inflammation and endotoxemia. So make sure that you are subscribed so you know when I post that video next week. Until then, have a blessed week. Bye-bye.